Chapter 1: The Crash. The planet Zorath 9 was a nightmare of tangled jungles and pulsating flora. Captain Elias Vance had seen his fair share of hostile worlds, but this one was different. It was alive in a way that made his skin crawl. His ship, the Starhawk, had crash-landed after an ion storm tore through its engines. Now, stranded and alone, Elias pushed through the dense undergrowth, his survival knife glinting in the eerie bioluminescent light. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and something metallic, like blood but not quite. Then he heard it. A desperate, guttural cry. Elias froze. It wasn't human, but it was close. He followed the sound, pushing aside thick vines that twitched at his touch. Ahead, in a small clearing, a figure was ensnared in a writhing mass of tendrils. An alien woman. Her skin was a deep indigo, her long silver hair matted with sap-like fluid. Her eyes, large, luminous, and violet, locked onto his. She struggled against the vines, which tightened in response, pulsing as if feeding on her fear. "Help me!" she gasped in heavily accented universal standard. Elias didn't hesitate. He lunged forward, slashing at the vines with his knife. Bad move. The moment his blade bit into the tendrils, the entire jungle shuddered. The vines recoiled, then struck back. Chapter 2. The Living Jungle. Elias barely dodged as a thick vine lashed out like a whip. He rolled, but another coiled around his ankle, yanking him off his feet. The alien woman let out a panicked cry. "Don't cut them," she shouted. "They react to violence." Elias gritted his teeth as the vines dragged him closer to her. "Then what the hell do we do?" "You're your blood," she gasped. "Human blood confuses them. They've never encountered your species before." Elias didn't question it. He sliced his palm and smeared blood onto the vines wrapped around her. Immediately, the tendrils recoiled, hissing like steam. The alien woman collapsed forward, free. But the jungle wasn't done with them. All around, the trees groaned, their bark splitting open to reveal more writhing vines. The ground itself seemed to ripple, as if the planet was waking up, and it was hungry. The woman grabbed his wrist. "Run!" Chapter 3. The Truth of Zorath 9. They sprinted through the jungle, the vines snapping at their heels. The alien woman moved with unnatural grace, leaping over roots and ducking under low-hanging branches. Elias struggled to keep up. "Who are you?" he panted. "Zyara," she said. "I'm a scientist. My people, we thought this planet was uninhabited. We were wrong." Elias risked a glance back. The vines were gaining. "What are those things?" "The planet's immune system," Zyara said grimly. "Zorath 9 isn't just alive, it's sentient. It sees us as invaders." A vine shot out, wrapping around Elias's arm. He cried out as it burned like acid. Zyara turned, her eyes widening. "No!" She grabbed his bleeding hand and pressed it against the vine. Again it recoiled. Zyara's gaze met his. "Your blood, it's the key. The vines don't recognize human DNA. We can use that." Elias clenched his fist, blood dripping. "Then let's give them a taste." Chapter 4. The Heart of the Jungle. Zyara led him to a massive, pulsating mound, a nexus of the living vines. At its center was a glowing core, pulsing like a heart. "That's the neural hub," she whispered. "If we can disrupt it, the vines will go dormant." Elias exhaled. "And how do we do that?" Zyara hesitated. "One of us has to reach it, and merge with it." Elias stared at her. "Merge? As in die?" Zyara's expression was grim. Not necessarily. But it's a risk. Before he could respond, the vines attacked again, this time in a frenzy. Elias slashed, but there were too many. One wrapped around Zyara's throat, lifting her off the ground. Elias acted on instinct. He ran straight for the core. Chapter 5: The Sacrifice. The vines lashed at him, but his blood kept them at bay for now. He reached the core, its light blinding. Zyara's voice echoed in his mind. Elias, no. He plunged his hand into the pulsating mass. Agony. Fire raced through his veins. Visions flashed. Millennia of the planet's memories, its anger, its loneliness. It didn't want to kill. It was afraid. Elias gritted his teeth. We're not your enemies. The core pulsed. Then silence. The vines went limp. The jungle stilled. Zyara dropped to the ground, gasping. She scrambled to Elias's side as he collapsed. Elias! He groaned, his hand smoking but intact. Did it work? Zyara let out a disbelieving laugh. You communicated with it. Elias managed a weak grin. Guess humans are good for something after all. Epilogue. A new alliance. Weeks later, the rescue ship arrived. But Zyara didn't leave with them. I'm staying, she told Elias. This planet, it's not just a threat. It's a mind. And we can learn from it. Elias nodded. Just try not to get eaten. Zyara smirked. Next time, I'll know to bring a human. As the Starhawk lifted off, Elias looked down at the now calm jungle. Some nightmares weren't meant to be fought. Some just needed to be understood. Epilogue. A new dawn. Elias stood at the observation deck of the rescue vessel, staring down at the swirling greens and blues of Zorath 9. The planet no longer looked like a monstrous tangle of predatory vines. Instead, it pulsed gently, almost rhythmically, like a slow, steady heartbeat. Zyara had chosen to stay behind. This planet is alive in ways we've never seen, she had told him, her violet eyes gleaming with excitement rather than fear. It's not just a predator, it's a sentient ecosystem. And if we can communicate with it, imagine what we could learn. Elias smirked at the memory. Just don't let it eat you again. Zyara had laughed, a sound he realized he would miss. Next time, I'll make sure to have a human around. Seems you're the only ones it listens to. Now, as the ship ascended through the atmosphere, Elias flexed his hand. The burns from the neural core had healed, but faint silver scars remained, tendril-like markings that almost looked like veins of light beneath his skin. The medics had no explanation for it. Biologically, it's like nothing we've encountered, one had muttered. Your DNA hasn't changed, but something in your cells is reacting differently now. Elias wasn't sure what that meant. But he wasn't afraid. Because as the ship broke orbit, he felt something, a distant whispering pulse in the back of his mind. Zyara's voice. Whoa, deeper. The planet itself. And in that moment Elias knew, this wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Final scene. A transmission. 3 months later. Elias sat in the cockpit of his newly repaired ship, the Starhawk, when the comms crackled to life. A familiar voice filled the cabin. Elias, can you hear me? He nearly dropped his coffee. Zyara. Static hissed, then cleared. We did it. We've established a link. The planet, it's not just sentient. It's intelligent. And it remembers you. Elias exhaled sharply. That's good. Zyara's laughter echoed through the speakers. Better than good. It wants to talk to you. I think it has something to show us. Elias stared at his scarred hand. The faint silver veins pulsed once, softly, as if in response. A slow grin spread across his face. "Guess I'm coming back after all."